Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Natalie Campisi, Mortgage Analyst at Forbes Advisor, a trusted destination for unbiased personal finance, advice, news, and reviews to discuss refinancing in the housing market. Natalie, it's great to see you. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you so much.
And typically the real estate market hits the brakes in the fall as kids return to school, families juggle work, all the extracurricular stuff that comes up with the holidays. However, as with a lot of things in 2020, things are not what they seem. Why is the fall real estate abnormally hot this year?
So what happened is that home buying was hot before COVID. So spring home buying season was just gearing up. And when COVID was declared a pandemic in March, everything just sort of froze. So what we're seeing right now is kind of a backlog of eager home buyers re-entering the market now. September has sort of blown the lid off of records. It's usually this is a slow time in home buying. People are back in school and everyone's sort of settled in place, and that is not the case this September. So it's the backlog. It's also very low mortgage rates. We are hitting rock bottom, record lows. Right now, rates are around 2.9% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. So we have people that are just lining up to lock in those ultra low rates because they don't know when they're going to rise.
Why is now the time for homeowners to refinance?
So this is a fantastic time to refinance because rates are so low. They're about 2.9% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage and around 2.36% for a 15-year fixed rate mortgage, according to Freddie Mac. Again, people don't know when rates will be this low again. So they're kind of lining up to lock in this low rate. On top of that, what we're seeing is that the Federal Housing Finance Agency is implementing a new fee December 1st. This is going to be 50 basis points of the total loan amount. So refinancing is going to get more expensive for about 70% of all loans. So let's say a $200,000 refinance will get an added $1,000 fee added to that. So so people want to sort of beat that December 1st deadline.
Why are they adding the fee?
So they're adding the fee to they're adding the fee for lenders who sell loans to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac in order to recoup any projected losses due to COVID. So those fees are really going to go to the lenders, and the lenders will most likely pass the fees on to consumers, either in the form of high interest rates or just another fee as part of the closing costs.
Well, like everything, we're asking how the national election will have impact on certain sectors within the economy. I would imagine that the housing market doesn't escape that either. How could the national election impact it?
So there are a few ways. We see that Biden has a very robust housing plan. Of course, this is just a plan. He hasn't done anything. So this is what he would do if he became president. He's committing about $640 billion over 10 years to address a wide range of housing issues. One of the things that he would do would be to make Section 8 an entitlement. So right now, about 1 in 5 people who are eligible for Section 8 housing vouchers, these are some of our lowest income Americans who really need help getting housing. They're only 1 in 5 are getting these vouchers. So Biden would make this an entitlement, which would probably mean that almost everybody that qualifies would get vouchers. So he's really doing things in his plan to further equity and housing. He really hopes that Americans aren't paying more than 30% of income in housing, and he has a few policy ideas to address that. He would also incentivize the elimination or I shouldn't say elimination, but he's incentivizing states to rethink single family zoning, which is really constricting home construction in the states. This is a problem because housing inventory is really tight right now. There aren't a lot of houses for sale, and it's driving up the prices of homes. It's making housing pretty unaffordable for a lot of people. So he's doing that. Trump, on the other hand, he doesn't have a housing plan per se, but he's enacted policies and rolled back rules that would give us an indication of what he might do. So for example, he eliminated the AFFH rule, which is the Affirmatively Furthering Fair Housing rule under the Fair Housing Act. This is an important rule because it kind of makes municipalities that receive HUD dollars really analyze data in their communities to see if there's any inequity in housing before they get those HUD dollars. So by eliminating this rule, those municipalities no longer have to do that. They just have to certify that there is no inequity, and then they get the dollars. Trump sort of went on Twitter saying that he was saving suburbs from low-income housing, and he was referring to that rule. And so that's something that we have to consider, you know, with another Trump presidency. And some people say that the AFFH rule has too many loopholes, that maybe we don't throw it out, but we rethink how much we require of municipalities to do before they get those dollars.
So it sounds like with the tidbits that we've learned with other policy, they're just on very opposite ends of the spectrum. Right. Is what that sounds like. Okay, so tell us about Refinance Roadmap and how it can help homeowners.
So Forbes Advisor created the Refinance Roadmap as a way to really educate people who can save money by refinancing. Right now, there's about 19 million homeowners who could save money by refinancing. This is according to data from Black Knight. And so we wanted to create sort of a boot camp, a 4-week boot camp to supply homeowners with all sorts of information straight from lenders and personal finance experts. So there's going to be a 4-part newsletter that has links to articles, tools, things like that. And then we're going to cap this boot camp off with a webinar on October 27th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We've invited a panel of experts to answer people's questions directly.
All right, Natalie, thanks so much for joining us on Trade Talks.
Thank you so much.
You got it. And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.